Good evening, everybody. Dr. Arafich here from Vet Triage. 8:24 p.m. Pacific Time, August 10th. Yikes. A little behind, but that's okay. Look at this ring. Jeez. Let's lower this thing. Oh, my God. I don't know why I have this. People just say you should get it. Anyway, so let's talk about the work-life balance in veterinary medicine. This is sort of a generic conversation regarding that topic. And or maybe we should call it, work-life imbalance, but that's what it is. So let's talk about it. So it's been always the case for the most part that veterinarians go above and beyond for their business, their clients, their patients, way more than any human doctor, or at least on average, will do. And because of that, it creeps into personal life. Before the internet, before email, before cell phones, there was other than like using a pager or having your vet's landline phone number, you weren't going to get a hold of your vet outside the office. But vets were still on call, and so they used pagers and they and had landlines, and that was it. And then of course payphones, So, but then once we start having email and internet, and then eventually cell phones didn't just become popular, but they became mini computers. It was very easy to see how work is going to spill over into your personal life. And for veterinarians, that went full force. They get messages by text, they get phone calls, social media, emails, etc. And so it is become a problem over time as technology's improved. Hi, Sarah. What a great topic. Thanks. Any questions, let me know. So it spills over into the personal life, and then which of course never ends, because animals are always going to get sick. They're always going to get hurt. People always have questions about their pets, and they live with their pets, so they're staring at them 24/7. And they're not taking into account that the veterinarian already worked a full day, needs to sleep. But the pet owner is only concerned about one thing, that's their pet. And so they will cross those boundaries. They're thinking maybe they're the only person to ask you a question that night as a veterinarian. But actually, the veterinarian is getting 30 calls a night for non-emergencies, and then having to work a full day the next day. So this work-life imbalance came from probably two places, although you could probably argue more. One is the technology advancements being more accessible to clients 24/7. And then secondly is vets inherently feeling an attachment to their clients and their patients to maybe an unhealthy degree. There's probably a third category, which is just, overall like culture of the workplace, that's also pressuring vets to work more. Because whether you like it or not, vets need to sell also. Now, thankfully, the vast majority of veterinarians I know, they make recommendations not based on the wallet. They make it based on what they think is best for the pet. But at the same time, they have to produce, and that's how they pay the bills. And so there's a cultural aspect to this that also hurts their work-life balance. Then you could also argue that everybody who's in a position of power, like doctors are, because frequently veterinarians are also going to be the hospital managers or the owners, or even just being a doctor, you're still going to be a leader. There's an expectation that you should have some imbalance, and I can attest to that. I think that's fair. If you don't want any imbalance, then you get a job working in a cubicle 9 to 5, and when you're off, and you're done. So you have alternate career options if you decide you want that balance, but otherwise, yeah, it's not something that veterinarians are used to having. So the problem is then now we've created a culture on the pet ownership side where pet owners feel as though they deserve their vets to be on call for them 24/7. And if you're not on call 24/7, you must not care about animals. So, and of course that's stupid and untrue, but that's what we've created because veterinarians never said no to people, and because they never said no to people, people went and took it too far. And then with social media being a thing and cyberbullying being a problem and all that stuff, somebody can just go online and talk crap about your hospital and spread ill will regarding your facility, all because you decided you wanted to not be on call that night. And now they're pissed off at you because their pet got in trouble. And so you're evil now, despite all the years you've taken care of their pet, maybe even generations of pets, they turn on you. And so, anyway, so this is just some of the problems that we're dealing with. I haven't even talked about where vet schools play a role. I haven't talked about where different generations of vet students play a role, the application process, or rather the admittance process, the mentorship after graduating. I mean, all that stuff plays a role. It's way too complex for a live stream like this. But that's why work-life imbalance largely exists. And because of that, veterinarians have a very hard time letting go. They now feel they have a commitment to their clients to be on call, even though it's literally breaking them. They're retiring early. They're quitting vet med. They don't enjoy it, and then they don't recommend it to other people. They give it a bad name and all that. So veterinarians, those especially who end up watching this, need to find ways of work-life balance. Of course, Vet Triage does that. Obviously, we've partnered with Vet Triage. You can offload cases to the platform whenever your staff is overwhelmed, you're understaffed, you're booked, you're at capacity, whatever it is. And then when you're closed, you give your clients an option. Instead of going to the emergency hospital, we can help band-aid the situation, set up expectations for your clients. And then when they call you when you're open the next day or the next week, they're not expecting you to fit them in at 8 a.m. Monday morning. They're going to be fit in whenever you can fit them in because we set them up that way. And it's much more controlled environment. So, but you need to find work-life balance, whether it's something as like official or professional as Vet Triage partnership, all the way to being able to say enough's enough. When I'm done with work, I'm done with work. I'm not looking at email. I'm not looking at text. I'm not looking at social media messages or whatever. Not until I go back to work the next day or the next week. And then you also have to figure out ways to have a healthy life outside of work, whether it's, exercise or hobbies or, just plain relaxation, whatever it is. You need to take vacation time, of course. You need to remember what's important in life, which is not work, because that work will always be there. Clients will find veterinary care, for the most part. I mean, there's some areas where it's impossible, but that's what Vet Triage helps with anyway. But regardless, work pretty much is always going to be there. It's never going to end. And your client will only be so loyal to you until they feel you did them wrong, and then they're gone. Despite years of service and commitment, one thing you do wrong and they're out of there. And was that really worth it? Missing family holidays and birthdays and, your kids' activities or whatever. It was not worth it. It was not worth it. And so we need to be able to regain that balance. We need to be able to have give veterinarians the confidence to say, put your foot down. You can't have a scarcity mindset where you're going to lose business. Veterinary medicine has never lost money. You create a vet hospital and you're going to make money. Even if you're a bad vet and you're on a bad business, you're going to make money. It's impossible not to. Get rid of that part of it and just focus on how can I maximize my joy with this career that I've dedicated my life to, that I've probably went to $250,000 of debt under. How can I enjoy it until retirement, or until I find some other career that I want to change to? And that's what the focus should be. And then, luckily, I think I touched on it briefly. Generationally speaking, the new grads have a better mindset about, not living to work, but working to live. And they really value work-life balance. It might be a bit extreme. They're not really looking to work even like a 40-hour work week for full time. But regardless, these changes are inevitable, and it's good they're happening. There obviously needs to be an in-between. But at least new generation is more conscientious of work-life balance. And so hopefully they will change it, because the ones who are currently in charge are the folks who have been in the business for years, and they're not going to change. Some do obviously, but a lot of them are just stuck in their ways, and they're not going to take the leap to say no to their clients. All right. Well, I hope that helps for those who are listening. Thanks, Sarah, for joining. And thanks to those who are watching the playback. Please subscribe, hit like, donate, do all the things. And I look forward to being here again tomorrow, hopefully a bit earlier tomorrow. It'll be August 11th, and we'll have a chat then. Everybody, yeah, take care of yourself. Good night. See you. Bye. 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 Bye.